In the pixel-pounding pandemonium of 2025 gaming, where 165Hz fluidity, VRR victory, and 3000 nit HDR heroism demand displays that sync with split-second strikes, a TV titan takeover torrents sales charts, blending QD-OLED quantum leaps and mini-LED mastery to outpace iPhone mirroring by 40% in immersion and 35% in input lag lows, per RTings and HDTV test benchmarks. From Hisense's Thrift Thunder to LG's G5 Glow, our top 5 best gaming TVs, 2025 One Spotlights, Speed Demons vetted for ALLM auto low latency, 1mm's response, and Game Bar genius that eclipse non-gaming normies like Vizio V-Series, laggy laggards, or Roku streaming TVs, StreamStuck. Ranging $800 to $3,400, these picks fueled by a 40% gaming TV surge, Statista forecast, crush console kings with 48 Gbps HDMI 2.1 hordes. Skip the hype. Sink in for the spectacle where every frame forges fortune. Let's level up the Legends 1 low-latency leap at a time. Number 5. Hisense U8QG. The Hisense U8QG unleashes 2025 as the mini-LED maverick for budget boss battles. Its 65-inch up to 100 QLED canvas, 5,000-plus local dimming zones, with 5,000 nits, peak housing a VA panel with 165Hz native refresh that nails Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 Trials, headshots at 9.9 ms input lag, clinching PCMag's best value gaming TV for its HiView AI Engine Pro upscaling 1080p to near 4K clarity with 99% DCI-P3 that outshines TCL QM7K by 20% in bloom control per 2025 RTings trials. At $1,399.65, this U8QG underdog deploys 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, 48 Gbps for 4K 1165Hz VRR ALLM FreeSync Premium Pro, Google TV OS for Xbox Cloud Gaming Native, and 72W 4.1.2 channel Dolby Atmos, EARC pumping positional punches. The 70LB frame mounts Visa 400 with anti-reflective coating for glare-free grinds, all at 2000.1 native contrast for crushing blacks. Updated 2025 with U8QG Pro, ATSC 3.0 tuner. This Hisense nods U8N legacy with matte black finishes, forums frothing its QM7K killer that shrugs burn-in blues. At $1,399, it underbids LG C5 in nets, 5,000 versus 2,000, aligning with 2025's mini-LED mania via female-friendly Google TV. The zone's 5,000-plus dimming conquers bloom curses, the engine's AI conquering upscaling uglies, a QLED quartermaster where every NIT narrates Nirvana. In 2025's value vortex, the U8QG unleashes unstoppably, a mini-LED maverick fusing 5,000 nit fury with 165Hz fluidity, empowering budget bosses with battlefield behemoths that appreciate as accessibly as they annihilate fastest selling for Thrift Thunder. Number 4. TCL QM7K. The TCL QM7K Mini LEDs 2025 as the brightness brute for HDR havoc. Its 65-inch, up to 115 QLED canvas, 2,500-plus local dimming zones with 3,000 nits peak, housing a VA panel with 144Hz native refresh that nails Cyberpunk 2077 Faucet Neon Nights at 13. 1ms input lag, clinching Tom's Guide's best mid-range gaming TV for its AIPQ Pro processor upscaling SDR to HDR with 98% DCI-P3 that outshines Hisense U8QG by 15% in peak pops per 2025 CNET trials. At $1,499.65, this QM7K Quartermaster deploys 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 48 Gbps for 4K 144Hz VRR ALLM, Google TV OS for GeForce Now native, and 120W 4.2.2 channel Onkyo Dolby Atmos EARC pumping positional punches. The 70LB frame mounts Visa 400 with anti-reflective coating for glare-free grinds, all at 2000.1 native contrast for crushing blacks. Updated 2025 with QM7K Pro, 8K upscaling, this TCL nods QM8 legacy with matte black finishes, forums frothing its U8QG upender that shrugs bloom blues. At $1,499, it underbids LG C5 in nights, $3,000 versus $2,000, aligning with 2025's mini-LED mania via female-friendly Google TV. The zone's 2500 plus dimming conquers bloom curses, the processor's AI conquering upscaling uglies, a QLED quartermaster where every NIT narrates nirvana. In 2025's brightness blitz, the QM7K mini LEDs masterfully, a VA Vanguard fusing 3000 nit fury with 144 Orts fluidity, empowering HDR heroes with high dynamic havens that appreciate as accessibly as they annihilate fastest selling for peak pops. Number 3. LG C5 OLED. The LG C5 OLED glows 2025 as the contrast king for cinematic conquests. Its 65-inch, up to 83 OLED canvas MLA tech with 2000 nits peak housing and infinite contrast panel with 144 Hz native refresh that nails The Last of Us. Partma 2 Remastered shadows at 1 ms input lag, clinching what hi-fi. Its best mid-range OLED for its A9 AI processor Gen 8 upscaling 1080p to 4K with 99% DCI-P3 that outshines TCL QM7K by 30% in black depth per 2025 RTX trials. At $1,399.65, this C5 Guardian deploys 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 48 Gbps for 4K 144Hz VRR ALLM Dolby Vision Gaming, WebOS 25 for GeForce Now native, and 40W 2.2 channel A acoustics, EARC pumping positional punches. The 55B frame mounts VISA 300x200 with anti-reflective coating for glare-free grinds, all at 0.001 mx response for ghost-free glory. Updated 2025 with C5 Pro, Micro Lens Array Plus. This LG nods C4 legacy with matte black finishes, forums frothing its QM7K crusher that shrugs burn-in blues. At $1,399, it underbids Samsung S95F in contrast, Infinite versus 2000.1, aligning with 2025's OLED Odyssey via female-friendly WebOS. The MLA's micro lens conquers brightness curses, the processor's AI conquering upscaling uglies, a OLED wizard where every pixel pulses perfection. In 2025's contrast conundrum, the C5 OLED glows goldenly, a MLA maestro fusing infinite inky with 144 Hz harmony, empowering cinephiles with cinematic citadels that appreciate as artistically as they annihilate fastest selling for contrast crown. Number 2. Samsung S95F OLED. The Samsung S95F OLED surges 2025 as the QD-OLED queen for gaming glory. Its 65-inch, up to 77 canvas, QD-OLED with 3000 nits, peak housing an infinite contrast panel with 165 Hz native refresh that nails Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree boss. Battles at 9.5 ms input lag, clinching what hi-fi. Is best premium gaming TV for its NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor upscaling SDR to HDR with 99% DCI-P3 that outshines LG C5 by 30% in color volume per 2025 RTX trials. At $2599.65, this S95F Sovereign deploys 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 48 GPS for 4K 165 VAR ALLM FreeSync Premium Pro, Tizen OS for Xbox Cloud Gaming Native, and 70W 4.2.2 channel object tracking sound plus EARC pumping positional punches. The 45LB frame mounts VISA 400x300 with glare-free 2.0 coating for glare-free grinds, all at 0.010 ms response for ghost-free glory. Updated 2025 with S95F Pro, anti-burn-in AI, this Samsung nods S95D legacy with matte black finishes, forums frothing its C5 crusher that shrugs bloom blues. At $2,599, it underbids LG G5 in color, QD versus OLED, aligning with 2025's QD OLED Quest via female-friendly Tizen. The QD's quantum dots conquer color curses, the NQ4's AI conquering upscaling uglies, a QD OLED queen where every pixel pulses perfection. In 2025's gaming gauntlet, the S95F OLED surges supremely, a QD OLED quartermaster fusing 3000 nit fury with 165 Hz fluidity, empowering esports emperors with entertainment empires that appreciate as artistically as they annihilate fastest selling for QD OLED queen. Number 1. LG G5 OLED. The LG G5 OLED glows 2025 as the contrast king for cinematic conquests. Its 65-inch, up to 97, OLED canvas 4-stack OLED with 3000 nits, peak housing, and infinite contrast panel with 165 Hz native refresh that nails Blade Runner 2049 nide, neon noir depths at 1 ms input lag, crowning what hi-fi. As best overall gaming TV for its A11 AI processor upscaling SDR to HDR with 99% DCI-P3 that outshines Samsung S95F by 30% in black depth per 2025 RTings trials. At $33.99 for 65, this G5 Guardian deploys 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 48 Gbps for 4K 165 Hz VR ALLM Dolby Vision Gaming, WebOS 25 for GeForce Now native, and 80W 4.2 channel A acoustics, EARC pumping positional punches. The 55 full B frame mounts Visa 300x200 with anti-reflective coating for glare-free grinds, all at 0.00 WMX response for ghost-free glory. Updated 2025 with G5 Pro, Micro Lens Array Plus. This LG nods G4 legacy with matte black finishes, forums frothing its S95F Slayer that shrugs burn-in blues. At $399, it underbids Sony Bravia 9 in contrast, Infinite versus 4000.1, aligning with 2025's OLED Odyssey via female-friendly WebOS. The 4-stack conquers brightness curses, the processor's AI conquering upscaling uglies, a wold wizard where every pixel pulses perfection. In 2025's gaming gauntlet, the G5 OLED glows goldenly, a 4-stack sovereign fusing infinite inky with 165 Hz harmony, empowering cinephiles with cinematic citadels that appreciate as artistically as they annihilate fastest selling for contrast crown. The 2025 Pro firmware injects AI target lock for 95% fish accuracy on Dune's desert depths verified via LG tests. Ethernet beams 360 networking for 120-degree sweet spot, and night mode auto ducks dynamics 20% without dulling drama. At 55 lb, it's console stable. Female touchscreen feeds iPhone at low latency. Dust filters washable biannually. Buy for flagship bliss. Skip if you crave QD color LG's Q to G5 glory.